Hi guys, welcome back. So in the last video we made a static list of 3 items, and in this video we are going to make this list dynamic. So what does dynamic mean? Dynamic means getting the data from an external data source and displaying it onto the page. So as you remember, there are what real application development is like. The real application development puts all the components inside specific files. For example, the content for this page is put inside an HTML file, the styling for this page is put inside a CSS file, and the logic for this page will be put inside a TS file, and that is homepage.ts in our case. So we are going to learn about variables and how to display the data from that variables onto our HTML page. So let's move forward. Let me first delete these 2 items because now we are not going to display items statically. Let me save it, and here is our single item. Now see, there are 3 values that define this item. One is the img, that is the image, the second one is the label, and third one again a label. Let me take 3 variables here. All these variables will give us the different values. First one, let it be your image URL. The second one, let it be product name. It will be a string as well. Then the third will be a product price. The naming should be good because it's a good practice, you know? So let's get the image URL from here, copy it and paste it here. Let the product name be copied as well. Product name is again a string, and product price is 5.49. So let me save it, and nothing will change because I have not used this image URL inside homepage.html. Now let us do one thing. Let us just remove this image. Let us just remove this, and as I removed it, the image is no longer visible. Now if I want to use this image URL there, let me copy this variable and put it here, and let me save it, and nothing will happen because I don't want the value image URL inside source. I want the value contained inside image URL, and for that there is a programming construct known as double curly braces, and I will put image URL inside it and save it, and you can see that image URL is replaced by the value contained inside it, that is assets and product.jpg, and now the source is pointing towards that particular product. In the same way, we are going to do the same thing with the product name. Let me just remove it, put the product name variable here, and there is no change because now the name is coming from the TS file. Let me remove it, save it. The price is gone, but now let me use the double curly braces, put in the name of the variable, and here is the price that is displayed back. So now you can see we have taken variables inside the TS file, given them some values, and used those variables inside the HTML file. This concept is known as interpolation. Yes, interpolation. So I think you now know what we want to do. Now let's look at one more type of variable, and that is, now let me put here some comment, guys. Putting comments is a very good exercise this helps the developers to know what this code snippet is going to do, what is the purpose of this code snippet. So it's a very good practice to use comments in the code. Now let me tell you about an object literal. So now we are going to see about an object literal product. This is the syntax for an object literal, and here we will use these same things. Let me just copy them and paste them here, and they will give you a lot of errors because this is not the right syntax to be used inside an object literal. What we will need here is replace this equal to with column, replace all the equals to with columns, and replace all these statement terminators with commas, and not put anything in the last value. So let me save it, and now we have an object literal in front of us. If you want to learn more about it, I recommend go to some JavaScript channel or to an Angular channel, and you will get a hold of these concepts. Now if I want, now let me do one thing. I have another image. Let me point to that image 01.jpg, and let me give the product name as well, something else. Let me give it Duracell, and the cost to 10.49. Now in order to use these values inside an iron item, we need to refer to this property. These are properties: image URL, product name, and product price. We need to refer them with the help of this product literal, product variable. So I will have to specify there product.image URL, and then the HTML file will be able to fetch values from this object literal. So let me just go there, and instead of image URL, let me write down product.url, and let me save it, and see, we can locate the new image. And so let me do it here as well. Product name. Let me copy this product and dot, and let me put it here and save it, and see how to access the values within an object literal onto the HTML page. So now I think you guys have an idea how to get the values of simple variables and object literals inside the HTML file. Now the next thing that we are going to learn is to iterate these items, because that is the main concept actually. Now let's go to iron list. See, this is our iron list, and iron list can be said as a container for iron items. There is a programming construct in Angular known as ng-for that helps us to loop through certain values. This is the syntax: let now see what is actually happening. ng-for directive and this syntax, what it does, and what is this? This is an array, and what this syntax is going to do is this loop variable is going to get a value of 1 for the first time, and this iron item will be displayed for the first time. Second, the loop will be set to 2, and this iron item will show again. Later on, loop will iterate through this array, and the items will be shown till the loop variable reaches to the end of this array. So let's save it and see the difference. Okay, now I think you got my point. If I increase the value of this array, it will iterate through the array 6 times, and whatever I want I can do it. Now let me put this array again inside of the TS file. Let's copy it, and it is our third variable, array. a very basic concept in programming. And let me call this little bit this. Let me use this variable inside homepage.html instead of this. And I think I have missed something here. Loop counter, and this is a loop counter. Okay, so our list is back. We need, that's what I'm saying, when we actually write code on all by ourselves, only then we can get a real taste of putting things in the right manner. So the problem was not because our value 6 was a bit ahead of the comma and I put it back. No, this was not the problem. The problem was that when I copied the array from HTML page to TS page and gave it a name and put that name in HTML file, the problem was that I forgot to save my changes. Now guys, we should be, as a programmer, we should always be attentive to the indications that our editor is giving us. Our editor is our friend, and it is designed and programmed in such a manner that to help a developer. If you can just see here, just beside the file name there is a small dot. Now this small circle or small dot is an indication that we have unsaved changes in the file. So if I hit Ctrl S, just see the indication. Now it is giving us a cross. It means that the file is now saved. So it should be a second nature of the programmers to hit Ctrl S every time they make a change in the code. Otherwise they may get some creepy display or some wrong display of information or something like that. So let's move on to our next challenge, and see, I want to explain you this ng-for. What is this ng-for? ng-for is a for loop that is iterating over an array, and we can get the values of the array inside the loop, and we can display this loop variable as well in our iter. Let me put another iron label inside it so as to display the values within the loop. So now this loop, the loop is a variable and it will iterate over the array and get all the values inside the array one by one, and they will be displayed here. See, these are the values inside the array. If I just remove these, it will iterate only 3 times and those values will be displayed inside the list. So we can say that we have in a way achieved our dynamic list. We can control the size of the list with the help of the array here, but still our job is not done. Why? Because we are still getting the same value of products in every item. Now what we want is a different set of data for every item. For this we will construct an array of objects. Now what is an array of objects? When I say an array of objects, let me name the array. Let it be products list. Now it will be an array and it will consist of objects, and this is the syntax for objects, and each object will be such as this. So let me just copy this part and paste it here. So this is my first object. Now I will have a different object here. So I have made an array of objects first hand. Let me paste it here. So this is the array of objects that we will be using to dynamically generate our list. See, this is an array. The name of the array is products list. This is the first object, second object, third object, fourth object, and fifth object. Let me put this products list array inside our homepage.html code instead of loop counter variable. So I have put it here, and I will give this loop variable another name, and the name will be product. And let me remove this label because its job is done. And now see what will happen. Before saving it, let me explain you the code. This is our array of 5 objects, and every time the ngFor executes, the data of first object, for the first time the data of first object comes inside the product variable. So now we can access the values of the first object, I mean the properties of the first object, that is product name, product price, and image URL with the help of the product variable. In order to access the first property of the first object, we will use product.product name. Why? Because all full object is now pointed by product variable. So when I say product image URL, it no longer means this one. Okay, what we can do, because we have 2 variables in our whole code, this is product and this is also product. So let me just rename this one. Let me give it a name of product 1. Now in order to access the first property of the first object, I will use the name product. So when I say product.image URL and product.product name and product.product price, for the first iteration it will mean the values of the first object. When the first object is iterated over, the product variable will point towards the second object and towards the values of the second object, then to the third object, and then to the fourth, and then to the fifth. In this way we will get a dynamic list of objects. Let me save the code and let's see the changes. I have not saved. Let me save. I wrongly saved the page. Let me get back the focus. This page is also saved, and this page is also saved, and now you can see, now we are getting a dynamic list of items. See, the images are all different, the names are all different, the prices are all different, and from where these values are getting picked up, these values are getting picked up by the array of objects. You can also see that I have put in different image URLs. All are pointing to different images. The first one is pointing to image 01, the second one to image 02, 03, 04, and 05, and I have brought in 5 different images inside my assets folder, as you can see here. So I hope you got my point and you got the explanation. This is the simplest way where I can explain you this. You need more practice. You have got the data. I can show you once more here. This is our array. You can see it. You can write the same product list array of objects inside your code and practice it, and I hope you will get the list right. So guys, this is the end of our dynamic list, and again this task is yet not complete, because we may say it is a dynamic list, but still it is a static list, because we have mentioned the data here statically. In the next videos I will try to get the data from an API. So thanks for watching this video and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.